Welcome everyone. Thank you once again for joining me for this is the second session of online reviews. Today, the topic that we're going to be covering is how to get online reviews. So how do we do this? Like, what are the processes that we can undertake to try and improve how many reviews we are getting? So the topics that we're going to cover for the online review sessions is why they're so important, which we covered last week. So go and have a look at our YouTube channel if you missed that one. Okay, so first up, I really want to raise the conversation about how important your customers are to you. So before we delve into particularly talking about how to get our reviews, I really want you guys to think about how important are your customers to you in the first place. So we do know as we go along in business that a really good way of operating our business in a successful manner is to really focus on our customers. So to really think about what their interests are, what it is that's important to them, and et cetera, et cetera. So before we go asking for things, we really need to think about our position in our business and how much we put our customers in the forefront of our minds when we're carrying out our day-to-day activities. So one of the first questions is your customer at the heart of all your decisions? So when you are perhaps talking about maybe new processes that you might implement into your business, or you might have new products or a new way that you're going to do things, how is it that you will think about how this would impact your customer and how it would be received? The second thing would be, so is customer feedback integrated into your culture? So when we're thinking about our reviews, are we thinking about the feedback that we're getting, and are we taking it as an opportunity to learn and grow and receive all of the feedback of whether it's positive or negative? How much are we embracing what it is that people are saying? So are you continually seeking to improve your customer experience? So it's all very well and good to ask people for what they think, but also how much are we looking at the feedback that we get and really taking it on, and also thinking about how we can improve our customer experience, even if it is really great feedback that we're getting. How often is it that we go back to our product and ask ourselves, how can we make this better? How can we make this experience for our customer that much better? And I often find, like, when we think about entrepreneurs and people that are really successful with their business, they think outside the box. So, as we go along in life, we have a little, we have the tools that are set up for us about what is normal business practices, and this is the way you do this, and this is the way that you do that. But to excel in anything, we really need to think outside the box. So this one here is a really, really strong point. So say, for example, we have, there might be an accommodation that we offer, and we do the bare minimum, like we do everything that's tick box. We welcome our guests, the communication's really good, we're friendly, etc. But when we look at those accommodations that really succeed, it's when they go outside of their when we exceed expectations that we really get that great feedback. So I'd really like you to think about and note that one down, like how often are we continually seeking to improve our customer experience? Do you surprise and delight your customers? So once again, food for thought. How often do you go outside of what it is that you do to reward your customers, whether they're return guests, etc., or just to simply, maybe there might be a bottle of wine, or maybe a lovely credit that you might like to give them just for no particular reason? And do you thank and reward your customers? So similar type of topic, but how often do you reward those ones that are return guests, etc.? So it's a really good food for thought too. When we begin to think about asking for reviews, how much is our focus with our business really centered around our customers? So, as I suggested last week, to be able to get reviews, we need review platforms. So the most common platforms are Google My Business, Facebook, TripAdvisor, and then we also have product reviews as well, which you may notice that this is starting to happen quite a bit. I know with me, when I go to purchase something on eBay now, they'll have a little product review where I can read the past customers, what they're saying about that product. And then we've also got our Airbnb and booking.com, etc. So it's really important that these foundations that we have, once again, are really strong and they're up to date, and our photos and our address details all match everything. So before we go asking for reviews, we really need to make sure that these are up to date. And last week, as part of your homework, I did ask everyone to review these platforms just to make sure that everything that they've got on there is up to date, so that our foundations are strong before we go asking for people for this information. So next, getting reviews. So getting right into the topic focus. So there's two aspects of getting reviews, and we're going to have businesses that we are face-to-face with our customers, and then we're also going to have businesses where we perhaps don't see our customers, and then most of our online reviews are going to be conducted through online methods. So with our face-to-face customers, obviously one of the most important or obvious ways of getting reviews is just to ask people. And so coming back to our customers again, if we have a great rapport with them, if we find that we've built a really good relationship with them, then it should be comfortable enough that we can ask for this. And that will be at your discretion about whether you feel comfortable enough and that the rapport is good enough to just simply ask. This is what we do at Tourism Tribe with a lot of our clients. If we've had a really great project, or we've had a really good working relationship with a particular client, then it gets to the stage where we feel comfortable enough to ask for that. And I know that happens when there's a real mutual respect for one another, and we've had a really good working relationship and the outcomes have been really terrific, that what we've put in, we're able to ask for something in return. So getting back once again to that customer focus again. QR codes that customers can scan. So there's many different ways that we can do this. If we've got a restaurant, or if we've got some sort of place like a reception or a front desk, we can have it on tables or exit ways for people to scan. So for multiple business types, we could have a QR code on our packaging. So, and that might be like when I'm thinking about you, Christy, with the prop people that do your packaging. So you could have something there as you're setting up, or if you are following up with your customers, something there that you could have a QR code for them. So, an accommodation place. So if you've got accommodation place, you could have a QR code in the rooms as well that people could scan easily. Now, this is something that one of my colleagues, Hannah, suggested, that this is an experience that happened with her just recently on the weekend. So we all know that the COVID Safe app is now taking place for people to have to scan when they go into restaurants. So I'll show you an example in the next slide of what her experience was with how a COVID Safe app was used, which then went on to Facebook Messenger, and it prompted an automation to follow up. So in this case here, when I show you the example, if you did choose to have a look at how this works, and I would definitely recommend to checking what the laws are as well around the COVID Safe app and what you are and aren't allowed to do, because I haven't researched this, but I do know that it's something that there are certain laws in place about what information you can use to help promote your business in terms of using the COVID Safe app. And we've also got signs that we can stick on our door that prompts people to leave our review. So if you've got that, TripAdvisor, etc. So this is the example here of what my colleague Hannah experienced on the weekend when she went out to a restaurant. So she obviously scanned in, and she scanned in for the COVID Safe app, and it activated. So she gave her, press a button to check in. Can you please confirm your phone number, which she popped that in. Thanks, email address, and would you like to stay in touch so you know about our latest offers? So she had the option there and this is all through Facebook Messenger as well. So you can see here, she can also, she can respond. So depending on what her responses are, then it will automate different prompts. So you can see here, hey, thanks for visiting Pinchy's, how was your experience? And then she can rate it, what it is. And then obviously because she's clicked awesome, we'll see on the next page here, it's the automated response. So we'll just go back a bit. We love taking care of you today. If you could take 30 seconds to leave us an online review, we'd be so excited to read it. And then there's the automation that links to the review page on Google. So this is something that's worth investigating if that's your, if you are using a COVID Safe app, to see if this is something that could work for you. But as I mentioned, it's a really good idea to check the laws as well, just to make sure that what you're doing and the information that you're using is within the guidelines. So going now to online customers. So if we don't have much of face-to-face with customers, we need to think about what communications do we have already in place with our customers. So most of the time when a customer has purchased from us, we will send something out to ask them how was their experience with us. So it's in this email, and it's great if it can be automated as well. It's in this email here that we really want to put those links in there to ask them how was their stay. And we also give them an opportunity to share if they've had an experience that maybe wasn't so favourable. So we give them that opportunity to communicate with us first before leaving a Google review or a review on any other platform that is in our favour. And then we give them those links to make that review for us. So obviously include your links, and we need to make it as personal as we can. So rather than the blanket kind of, impersonal email, it's really good to take our time with this and also experiment too. So then we might find that we write something and we're not getting the reviews that we want to, or we're not getting the response that we want to. So if that's happening, then it's a really good practice to go back and think, how can we make this better? And I've got a good example for you. So with the accommodation business that I work at, we were asking for reviews, and I did find that we're getting very minimal responses. So I did start to experiment with how it was that we talked to them, the type of language that we used, and also at what time that we sent it as well. So I did find that if we sent the follow-up at the end of the stay, so once the guest had left, then it was our chances of getting a review were much less. Whereas if we sent this during their stay, then that worked much better for us. So once again, just experimenting with it, we're able to come up with better results. So when we look at this email here, you can see that it's quite personal. And we've also, we've referenced what's been going on as well. We're so happy to welcome guests back after such a lonely COVID time. We need your help to spread the word about how your stay was. Please click on the following links to share your review. So you can see here that they're shortened as well. But we also have the option most of the time to actually link our words here. So we can link the words rather than put in the link. And you'll also see that it's been a shortened link too, which is much better. And that's just a simple thing by Googling link shortener, and it will shorten our links for us. And you can also see here too, we've offered that the opportunity to share their thoughts too. So if there's something that may have happened during their stay that we don't know about, we're giving that option here. So alternatively, if you have suggestions on how we could improve our accommodation, please reply to this email so we have a chance to hear your thoughts, etc., etc. And also we'll see at the end of the email here an option for them to join our subscribers list. So we're kind of hitting two birds with one stone here. If you have been joining me for the email marketing sessions, then we talk about ways that we can build our database. And this is just one where we're killing two birds with one stone. So we're going for reviews, and then we're also asking, would they like to stay up to date with our news and what's going on? So it gives us the option there for them to add themselves to our subscribers list. So getting back to our topic. Now, I've got a little bit of homework once again for you guys. So the questions or the homework that I would like you to do is just to have a think about how much are you thinking about your customers and what they actually say. So have you read your current reviews and see if you take on board suggestions or are aware of what they love and what they mention. So from that first topic that I was talking about with our customers being at the forefront, I'd really like you to just sit down and think. And if you do have a team or someone that you work with, have this conversation. So are you aware of what it is that your customers love? Are you aware of maybe some of the things that you may see mentioned that may need addressing so it can help improve the experience for your customers? The next action I would like you to do is with your current activities for seeking reviews, take a look and see if it's easy for people to go through the process. So is it tidy? Is it easy to follow? Can you add an add me to subscribers option? So we really want to make sure that if we do have things in, we do have automation or some sort of way that we are seeking reviews that is in our processes that get sent out, it'd be really great to have a look at that and just make sure it's a really simple process and just double check that everything's working as well. And introduce one new way of review seeking. So if there's something here that you've seen that you thought, oh, okay, we could do that, it'd be a really great idea to just introduce one new way of seeking a review. So for example, in my position, I know that obviously we send out those emails, but we don't have things written in our written or have a QR code actually inside our accommodation. So I might do that, and then we'll have a go at seeing how those, if that's going to help build our reviews. So that's the end of our session today, and we will move on to answering your questions. So thank you for joining us, and I'll see you, well, next Wednesday I'm doing email marketing once again. So if you haven't joined us for that, then sign up for that. But otherwise I'll see you in a fortnight's time for the next installment. Thanks everyone. Have a great Arby. It's Friday. Yay. See ya.